very much. It's a pleasure to call Sarah Atherton to make her maiden speech.
Diolch yn fawr, Madam Deputy Speaker. I am the first ever Conservative MP for Wrexham. And I'm Wrexham's first female MP. I stand humbled and privileged to serve every constituent, regardless of how they voted. Now, the people of Wrexham are strong and proud, and were affronted by the prospect their democratic will would be overruled. I have fulfilled my promise to the people of Wrexham, and we have left the European Union. Now, Wrexham is a town some 6 miles from the English border, a gateway both to north-west England and beautiful Snowdonia. Inextricably linked to England, we work and play, but we are still fiercely proud and Welsh. We in Wrexham illustrate all that is rich in our union. I am very typical of someone living in north-east of Wales. My father's from Chester and my mother's from Carnarvon. The walls of Chester did nothing to keep out the Welsh women. Now, my mother came from a large, humble Covey family, where the women are matriarchs, resilient and strong. Indeed, Shakespeare was no stranger to the determination and the take-no-prisoner attitude of Welsh women. But I'll let you read Henry IV, Part 1, for further information. The women of my mother's generation were tasked with looking after the family and making ends meet. She never heard English till she attended school, and how proud the family are now as one of them rises in this House as the first ever female Conservative MP for Wales. I think they've even forgiven that I'm a Tory. But this goes to show how amazing this country of ours is that we can offer to people when they put in hard work, commitment and sacrifice. We must ensure that all these opportunities are maintained and enhanced for our future generations. Now, Wrexham has a long history of welcoming people to the town. In World War II, we had an influx of Polish servicemen who integrated and settled. There is a large Polish community in Wrexham, but there's a smaller and yet significant Portuguese community. They have woven themselves into the fabric of Wrexham, adding to the diversity and culture of our one nation. Now, for those who haven't been to Wrexham, it's a hidden gem of a market town, a town founded on mining, brewing, football and the military. Sadly, Wrexham claims the second largest mining disaster in Wales. In 1934, an explosion killed 266 men in the Gresford Colliery, and all but 11 remain buried beneath our feet as a lasting reminder of our industrial heritage. So many men died that day as they changed their shifts to watch Wrexham play Tranmere Rovers. Indeed, as a student nurse back in 1990, I nursed an old man on the medical ward in the local Wrexham Mailer Hospital. He was covered in small blue scars all about his body, and he told me he'd been dragged out of that pit that day and was one of the few that had survived. It was poignant that when I later visited him in his home in Gwersylt, the same coal that almost killed him was keeping his house warm and his water hot. The mines have since closed, but the resilience and adaptability of the people of Wrexham have meant that other industries and businesses have filled that void, and the people have risen to the challenge. These are the same people that voted me in, and I thank them for their faith in me. Indeed, during the election campaign, the shift in the political landscape was seismic. The Daily Mail reporter was somewhat surprised to find me and two former ministers having a swift post-campaigning pint in the Fly Miners Institute, having just left the opposition in a rather upmarket coffee shop. As you've heard, Wrexham's passion for football goes back a long way, and Wrexham Association Football Club is arguably the oldest in Wales. The Football Association of Wales was founded in Wrexham, and I am pleased to see the recent opening of Colliers Park, the National Football Development Centre for Wales, symbolically located on the site of the Gresford Colliery pithead. I would like to highlight the good work of Gresford Athletic Football Club and Brickfield Rangers Football Club for the work they do to ensure that football is accessible to all including our young people. Now, in 1689, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers was raised, recruiting from across North Wales, and has a long association with Wrexham's Hightown Barracks. Sadly, this has all but changed, but the connection between Wrexham and the Welsh Fusiliers remains strong. Madam Deputy Speaker, I stand in the House as the only female MP who has served in the regular army. And it goes without saying that I will do all I can to support our military personnel, veterans and all their families. Now, many of us have laid claims to a few firsts. My constituency had over 19 breweries in the town in 1860, and we obviously brew the best beer. We have Wrexham Lager, which actually began in 1882 and is still brewing today. Now, I once too dabbled in commercial brewing. I was a brewster, which is a female brewer. And those who follow me on social media will know I appreciate a pint of real ale or two. I absolutely value the role pubs play in supporting our communities. Now, I wish to pay tribute to Ian Lucas, the previous member for Wrexham. He served the people of Wrexham for 18 years and was a good constituency member of Parliament. Despite our political differences, Ian and I have one thing in common. We both served on Gresford Community Council. And this is why I value the role of our community councils and councillors in making our communities a better place to live. Employment opportunities in Wrexham is relatively good, which is served by large businesses like Ipsen, Moneypenny, DTCC, JCB and Kellogg's, and within commuting distance of Airbus and Toyota. Wrexham is home to the second largest trading estate in the UK, directly employing around 12,000 people, and with hopes of expansion comes the offer of further employment opportunities. Now, it was clear to me during the general election that the residents of Wrexham feel let down by Welsh Labour government. The health service is our main concern, a health service directly managed by Labour from Cardiff. Almost daily, I hear heartbreaking narratives from constituents who feel disempowered and are suffering, and I am listening. And as one of 7 Conservative MPs across North Wales, we are all listening, and we are looking to what we can do to influence the Welsh Labour government. Now, Wrexham has not escaped the problems faced by many of our towns across the country, but there are now positive plans afoot for its regeneration, and I have met so many enterprising traders, butchers, bakers, restaurateurs, and I shall be meeting many more. They are the seed corn of our prosperity. I will do all I can to work with all those who seek the success of Wrexham, always seeking to ensure that the people's voice is heard. Madam Deputy Speaker, there is a renewed sense of optimism in Wrexham, bringing with it hope that missed opportunities will now be realised. I have lost count of the amount of times people have stopped their car, stopped me in the street, shaken my hand and said I'd hoped this day would come. Wrexham indeed has turned blue, and I will prove to my constituents that they made the right choice. Diolch yn fawr pobl Wrexham, diolch am eich cefnogaeth.
Jessica Borden.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker, and it's a great pleasure to follow the honourable members for Bosworth and for Wrexham doing their very assured maiden speeches, and I wish them well in the future. And as a fellow Welsh woman Labour MP, well, fellow Welsh woman MP, can I say to the honourable member for Wrexham that I very much look forward to seeing her at the annual St David's Day Welsh debate, which will be held after recess, and contributing in that. And also, I'm sure the all-party beer group will be extremely interested to hear of you as a brewster, and will be after you very quickly.